Alright, this is a Interwrite workspace tutorial that will cover just about everything you need to know about Interwrite workspace, certainly enough to get started and start exploring on your own. It'll be a little lengthy, probably 7 or 8 minutes, but it'll cover, like I said, everything you need to know. First of all, the workspace icon can be found on your desktop, so if you'll click that, it'll start opening up workspace. You'll be able to see your version here. You can see I'm 9.2. That's the latest version. This is your toolbar as it appears here on the screen, and let's go through the different tools that are featured here. First off, I'm going to click on the blank space, blank page icon. The first icon here is the minimize and restore toolbar, and that's all it does. The second is the workspace menu, and we'll get into that in just a minute, and we'll go into further detail. This next icon is the mouse mode. It allows you to go back to your desktop. If you click on the arrow key, it'll allow you to bring back the Interwrite slide. So that toggles back and forth. This is lesson mode, which is where you want to stay, is the default mode. This is the selection button. It will allow our tool. It will allow you to select different things, and we'll show you that in just a second. Here's the pen, probably the most commonly used tool, so we're just going to write the word "and" with the pen. You have the different colors that you can use and write the any color of the rainbow. You can change the thickness, you can change arrows, you can change the whether it's a solid line, dash, or dots. You also have the highlighter, and you are able to highlight either in pen mode, change the colors, or highlight with a rectangle, or highlight with a circle simply by choosing the properties down here at the bottom. Another tool here is the eraser. Of course, you can erase anything that you've done. You can create shapes with this tool. You can change the different lines or the different feel that you have just by clicking on the properties bar down here at the bottom. Alright, the next button is the straight line tool that allows you to draw a straight line, and you can choose whether that line is an arrow or a wide variety of different choices. Also change the thickness and color just like you can on most of the other tools. You have a text box here that you can type words in. You can then use your selection tool to click on it and drag it around. You also have a math equation tool that does the same thing but with math equations. You have an undo button that will undo each thing that you've done one at a time. You also have a clear button that will clear everything. This is the blank page that we used, and you'll be able to see the blank page and how to change some of that in just a moment. You also have a grid page that allows you to create a graph paper, and we'll show you how to make some changes to that. You have your gallery that allows you to have interactive games for your students, interactive simulations where they can do different things with the different flash objects that maybe there'll be games that they can play in social studies and science, all in the gallery section. You also have the ability to go back and forth between the pages that you've created. You also have the ability to sort the pages that you've created, so you can move them around or delete different pages if you so choose. Alright, that's the moving left or right arrow or the page sorter. Here's the save button. You can save it to anywhere you'd like, just like you do any other file that you have. You can choose where you'd like it to go. Of course, we encourage you not to save things to My Documents or the C drive. We have the toolbox section, which we're going to go into in depth in just a moment, and then we have the student response system functions that most people don't use, and then here is the exit button that can close out. Alright, so that concludes the toolbar section of the video. Alright, if you go into the workspace menu section up here at the top, you will notice that you have file edit tools, pages, help, and in the preferences section. We're going to click on the preferences section and show you a few of the tabs here that you may find useful. You have options, new page, transparency and language, toolbar settings, customized toolbar, gradient page setup, and tablet settings. I'll just show you the highlights of each of these sections. In the options section, you have the ability to change your cursor orientation to right or left-handed, and the ability to change where by default you save your Interwrite workspace pages. Under new page setup, you have the ability to change the color of your blank page, so instead of white you can have any color in the rainbow. You also have the ability to change your grid page, so you can add or take away the horizontal lines, the vertical lines. You can make it center grid, or you can add a title box or take away the title box. You can also increase the size of the lines. You can change the line color and the line type, and also the background. Transparency and language is not a tab that you'll probably use. Toolbar settings allows you to adjust the size of the toolbar, and you will want this to be on 40 by 40. Customized toolbar allows you to change the icons that appear on your toolbar page, which is right here. Here are all the available tools, and you can simply drag any tool that you want into the toolbar page, drop it, and then it will become part of your toolbar. You also have the gradient page, which you probably will not use much, which changes the background to different colors. And then tablet settings allows you to connect your iPad or your Android device to your Interwrite workspace and become almost like a mouse itself. So that concludes the workspace menu preference section. The last area we want to cover is the toolbox. The toolbox is the screwdriver, protractor, and hammer that appears here in your toolbar. If you click that, you'll be able to see all the different tools that could not fit on your toolbar. There's rulers, triangle, protractor, and I'll just hit some of the highlights here. You have the curtain feature, which allows you to be able to move the reveal one line at a time. You can pull from the top, the bottom, or either side. You can change the color. You can also change the transparency of it if you want to reveal what's underneath. To close it, you simply hit the close curtain button down here at the bottom. Alright, opening back up the toolbox, you have the capture feature, and to show this feature I'm going to go back to the toolbar, click on mouse mode to come back to my desktop, click on the toolbox and show the capture feature. For our purposes, I'm going to choose a partial capture. I'm going to drag from the top left to the bottom right, and I'm going to capture this Microsoft icon. Once I capture the icon, it puts it on its own Interwrite slide, and now I can work with it on an Interwrite slide by itself. There's also the record and playback feature. If I click it, I'm able to record everything I'm doing and saying if you have a microphone, and then I can play back that at a later time for my students who need remediation, or if I'm out, then I can do that. There are others that you may not use quite as much. There's the stamper option, which just allows you to put different pictures on your screen. You also have fill, freehand text, freehand shape, and I encourage you to go through each of these and click on them and see what they do if you're interested in some of these. You also have the ability to export to a PDF file or email a PDF file for those students that may be absent or on homebound or something like that. The last item is down here at the very bottom is the timer. Lots of teachers use this timer as a stopwatch. It'll count up for you, or you can use it as a timer where you can count down and tell the students they have a certain amount of time left. You can have multiple timers up on the screen. So that concludes a brief overview of the major tools that you use in Interwrite Workspace. You have your toolbar, you have your preference section, and then you have your toolbox that you can explore.